Also breaking overnight, a man is shot several times in his car outside of a Wingstop. This happened at the store in Friendswood on FM 528. The Friendswood police chief says the man was waiting for his order when a suspect ran up and shot him several times and then took off. That man was taken to the hospital. We are waiting to hear how he's doing this morning. No one else was hurt. Now to the urgent push to get more people vaccinated against COVID-19. The next phase for vaccinations is about to get underway, but there are frustrations from one important group who aren't being included in this round of shots. Michelle Choi has more on that, plus a look at a new map of where the vaccine has been delivered so far.
Hey guys, it's the third week of COVID-19 vaccinations here in Texas. So far, our healthcare workers, first responders, and nursing home residents have gotten priority in the first phase of the state's rollout plan. But if you're 65 years and older or have an underlying health condition, you could get vaccinated starting this week at no cost. The state says Phase 1B vaccinations will focus on high-risk groups. However, not included for now are childcare workers. Many of them say they're frustrated and feel they're being overlooked. The president of the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Houston, which stayed open to provide childcare to essential workers, says he'll advocate for his 200 employees to get the shot.
In our case, we're just making sure that it's known that we are just as much as the frontline workers as the first responders and healthcare workers.
Now, if you are part of Phase 1B, keep in mind you can't just walk into a pharmacy and get a shot. You first need to check if your provider carries it, then call to make an appointment. To help you, the state has this interactive map posted on their website showing where vaccines have been delivered in Texas. A drop-down menu lets you sort by community clinics, hospitals, and pharmacies. So far, 350 Texas providers have gotten the vaccine. We're told health providers will also be calling eligible patients to schedule appointments. Guys.
All right, Michelle, thank you for that. We turn to more coronavirus headlines. Here are three other things we want you to know about today. Number one, the U.S. now has its first case of the mutant variant of COVID-19 without any links to travel. A man in his 20s living in Colorado is now in isolation after testing positive for the new variant. This variant, first seen in the U.K., is said to be more contagious but less deadly, and vaccines are working against it. Number two, the UK has authorized the use of a second COVID-19 vaccine, and this one is from AstraZeneca. This vaccine has not been found to be as effective as the vaccines from Pfizer and Moderna, but it's easier to store and transport, and it costs less. And number three, there's a lot to learn about this pandemic. A member of President-elect Joe Biden's COVID-19 advisory board says his team needs more information to understand what is slowing down vaccine distribution. One expert said it could take until next fall before enough people are vaccinated for life to start returning to normal. Experts say this is our best shot at getting the pandemic under control, but President-elect Joe Biden says America is falling way behind. Biden says we will have to work extra hard to pick up the pace once he takes office. The U.S. has recorded more than 1 million new COVID-19 cases in just the past week. More than 121,000 people are now hospitalized in the U.S., and that's the most since the pandemic began.
We're grateful to the companies, the doctors, the scientists, the researchers, the clinical trial participants, and Operation Warp Speed for developing the vaccines quickly. But as I long feared and warned, the effort to distribute and administer the vaccine is not progressing as it should.
President Trump responded on Twitter saying it's up to the states to distribute the vaccines. Biden is promising to ramp up the country's vaccination effort to 1 million shots a day. Meanwhile, we will keep you updated as more doses become available. You can always text your questions to the number you see right there on your screen. It's 713-526-1111, and we will do our best to get you answers.
Check your bank accounts. You may have an extra $600 in there this morning. That's right. The Treasury Department says it already started making direct deposits. That money is the stimulus check approved for COVID relief. Now, a lot of interest in this story. So let's break down exactly who's getting what. Okay, so the max amount is $600, and that's for people making less than $75,000 a year. If you've got kids under 17 years old, add an extra $600 for each one that you have. If you make between $75,000 and $86,900, you will still see money too, but less of it as your salary goes, the amount goes down as your salary goes up. So does that make sense? A reminder, undocumented immigrants do not qualify for a payment, but citizens married to one do qualify. That's different from last time when spouses were cut out too. Again, direct deposits are already underway going into bank accounts. Those paper checks are going to start going out today. And yeah, this made me giggle. I have a feeling a lot of people are going to be sitting in front of their computers or sitting on their phones doing this, hitting the refresh button, refresh, right? Waiting for that money to come in. I know a lot of people need it, so especially right before the new year. You can check the status of your payment online, details on our website. And if you've got a question about this, I know a lot of people are still wondering when they're going to get those, what they're going to get. You can text us at 713-526-1111, and we will try to get those answers for you. Steph.
Yeah, Lauren, when they do see that money, they'll go, oh, it'll be the most exciting feeling. All right, at 5:37, right now, Harris County is keeping a close eye on COVID-19 hospitalizations, hoping to avoid rolling back reopening plans. Here are the day's other big stories.
In Harris County, COVID hospitalization rates climbed above 15% for the third straight day. If a particular area's COVID hospitalization rate climbs to more than 15% for 7 straight days, under Governor Abbott's executive order, bars would have to shut down immediately except for drive-thrus, and capacity at businesses like restaurants would have to dial back.
Travis County, home of Austin, plans to enforce a dine-in service curfew for bars and restaurants starting New Year's Eve until January 3rd. Drive-through, curbside pickup, and delivery will still be allowed. Governor Greg Abbott says it goes against the rules in his executive order. The Louisville police officer who got a search warrant for Breonna Taylor's home will be fired. The interim police chief says Detective Joshua Janes violated standard operating procedure, failed to complete a search warrant operations plan, and then lied in his affidavit.
You don't have to agree with my opinion, I don't have to agree with yours, but you should be able to express your opinion. And so I'm not going to be canceled.
Houston City Councilman Greg Travis stands by a controversial Facebook post that led to calls for his resignation. The meme shows an unflattering photo of former First Lady Michelle Obama next to a more flattering image of First Lady Melania Trump. Travis agreed to take the post down at the request of Mayor Turner.